Hi. It's really nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. I'm Kara, and I really like rom-coms.
Yeah. This is great. You look great. I'm Jaren. I like pretending to be sick to avoid plans that I made.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
You also look great. I'm sorry, I should have said it earlier.
No, cool, thanks. Yeah.
But so so things that we have in common. You said that, and I also like the natural charm of being poor.
Yeah, and I saw on your profile that this is
just
kiss
already. Do you want to sit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm tired of standing.
Okay. Yeah, we should. The waiter's looking at us.
What up? We're back. And by back, I mean it's literally like the second from when the last episode left off. It's a two-parter, folks.
Surprise!
First two-parter. Didn't know we could do that.
Welcome to episode 16 of Ouran High School Host Club. You are listening to Just Kiss already. I hope that you were able to deduct that from the intro, because we did stutter a lot.
Yeah. I hope you got the message. I hope you felt like you were the third wheel on the most awkward date of all time.
You're either like sitting nearby and you're like, oh, that they're cute, but also that date is gonna be a tough one. Or you're the friend who followed us.
Ooh, yeah. Canonically, it was a mall food court.
Yeah.
I was picturing.
Oh, of course. Are you kidding me? We both got Sbarro.
I like Sbarro.
But yes, it's episode 16, widely known as the date episode. Because this is the one where Hikaru and Haruhi kind of go on like a little date.
Like a full date.
Kind of like an actual, like they go on a date.
Not like a hey date.
Yeah, it's kind of, I feel like Haruhi is like, this is a friend outing. This is a friend date.
Yes.
Whereas Hikaru's, well, actually, even Hikaru is kind of like, yeah, I'm here because I have to be.
He's kind of surly about it, yeah.
Everyone else is like, this is a date.
Yeah.
This is, including us. This is a date. This is a date. So it's a really fun thing to do to your friends.
Honestly, super glad that it was Hikaru being like the first like person we see a date with.
Yeah, that's true. This is a romance show, as we all know, but this is our first kind of like big steppy.
Yeah.
Into the romance sphere.
We kind of spent like 16 episodes or about 8 hours with commercials of just like full on fun shenanigans, and now it's like, oh, we're starting to pump the date breaks.
It's very much like it's just kind of been fun friend antics, but also a little bit of like stuff, a little bit of
sprinkles,
a little
yeah.
But yeah, no, we're finally getting our romance kick in.
Yes,
like for real. So do you have cute date? Like, have you? I know we just had our mall food court Sbarro date. That was really awkward.
It was very good. Jeez.
Have any cute fun date anecdotes?
Yeah. This is kind of my go-to like date anecdote whenever somebody's like, wow, what would it be like to date you? Like, that would be fun and not at all bad. I'm like, you don't know. And then I tell them about the time that I got 2 free tickets to Halloween Horror Nights despite having never been to like Busch Gardens or a haunted house.
Incredible. Wait, and it was Halloween Horror Nights in Universal?
Wait, what do they call that one?
Halloween. Yeah.
What? Spooky Time.
Spooky Time.
I went to Spooky Time for a first date, and I was like, hey, like, it's nice to meet you. Like, let's go to this thing. And then we went there. I drove, and we get out, and we go in the place, and I do one haunted house. And I have, like, theme park anxiety centered around lines. Like, I imagine, I've never done it, but I imagine that once I get on the roller coaster, I'll be perfectly fine. But the act of waiting in line is so, like, anxiety-inducing that I can't do it.
Oh, no.
So I always get in the line, and then I'm like, fuck, and then I leave.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. And so we went on one haunted house. And I was like, actually, I don't like this. People are touching me, and I can't see where their hands are coming from.
I don't know why I chose this.
I feel unsafe.
Oh, no.
So we did one haunted house, and then we spent the rest of the night doing a lap around the park. And she'd be like, do you want to try that one with, like, the DJ clown? And I'm like, no. The line for that, it smells funny over there.
Not really, actually.
They're like, okay, well, what about this one? I'm like, is the Hemingway house open? Like, whatever that thing is up there that doesn't look scary?
You know.
And she's like, well, some of the rides are open. And I was like, not those either. And so we just walked around and left.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
And then we went to Subway just to, like...
so funny for two reasons. One, Subway is very funny, but also, did you know that a prominent sponsor of most Korean dramas right now is Subway? So they always go to Subway.
We love to eat fresh. That's insane. Like, even thinking back on it, I'm like, how did that person agree to a second date?
You were at a theme park.
And I wasn't happy with the theme or the park. I wanted to go to Subway.
That's incredible.
That's embarrassing, honestly. I almost wish
so funny.
Maybe on a later episode with a date, I'll tell a more flattering story. That's what I got.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, how about you?
I've been on. I love a good friend date. I'm a big fan of a friend. I'm a big fan of a picnic. I'm a big fan of a stargaze. All those things. Romantic dates, I don't know if I've ever, like, been on, like, an actual one. I have a weird, funny, kind of weird track record of, like, times that I was hanging out with someone that they thought it was a date and I didn't think it was a date because they didn't know that in order to ask me out, you need to be very clear about what's happening or else I will think we're friends hanging out.
Yeah.
Because I'm just, like, I guess very platonically minded. So they were like, hey, we should, like, hang out. And I was like, I love hanging out. And then, like, halfway through, they were like, are we gonna kiss? And I was like, why would we kiss? I thought we were friends at Chipotle.
I thought we were friends at Chipotle. Very good.
So that's cool and fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel better about my story knowing that somebody in the middle of a Chipotle was like, so are we gonna kiss?
It can always get worse. Also times where I was hanging out with someone where it, like, kind of felt romantic, but it also felt platonic, and we never really, like, said anything about it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I've definitely had, like, I'm not sure if it was a date. I didn't think it was a date and they did, but I guess there's also both of us weren't sure, or maybe I just wasn't sure because I was like, this kind of feels like we're having, like, a picnic and it kind of, like, I don't know, it feels a little flirty.
Son, the optics of this.
But, like, friends do this.
Like, friends listen to Endless Love in the Dark.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I don't, maybe I guess my dating life is just a big question mark. Maybe I have been on dates that I didn't know. I love a friend date, though. I've definitely gotten, like, just, like, cute outings with a buddy. And, like, you know, I've gone to, like, theme parks with a friend and, like, you know, just had a good day together. Yeah. Got some good food. Yeah, I'm just, you know, just having fun. Yeah. It's cool when everyone's on the same page. It gets weird when they're not.
Yes. We out here.
Yeah. But, yeah, I've never had an experience, I think, quite like this, though, where a friend asks me, well, I don't know, Kaoru kind of said, like, straight up, you want to go out. Yeah. And then it was, like, it was still assumed a friend outing. And then they did the old switcheroo, and Hikaru showed up instead.
It's very interesting the way that, like, this plan is hatched. Yes. Because it's, like, the episode title is, like, oh, Hikaru and Kaoru. Yep. Haruhi and Hikaru's first date. Yeah. But it's, like, Hikaru and
it's
the two of them.
Yep.
The first time that they do, like, a fun bait and switch and go look at stuff for the friend who's sick outing.
Yeah, it's really funny. I think kind of what we're, like, everybody thinks this is a date except for them. Yes. Like, everybody, including us. Yes. So, but this all starts because we've kind of got a little jealousy kind of thing going on. Yeah. Jaren, may I tell you, you actually did in fact guess something right this time.
Which was that?
That there would be, like, a jealousy arc.
Yeah.
The two that you had, because this wasn't necessarily, like, old forgotten friend, and it also wasn't ex-boyfriend. Yeah. It was more just like, I'm someone who had a crush on you in middle school, which, you know, it happens. However, you did get the more true heart of the cards, which was that we would be having some jealousy this time around.
Very good.
And also, it wasn't a Kyoya episode. Yep. So,
keep on rolling. 2
points for Jaren, really.
Yeah, when you think about it.
But yeah, we that's right. We cut back and it's our friend who's delivering fruit. Yes. And he's like, hi. And he's like, hi, I'm Arai, and I had a crush on Haruhi in middle school, like everybody else did, because Haruhi was just, like, the girl to have a crush on. Yes. And we're like, oh, cool.
She's got those dinner plate eyes, man.
Yeah. And she had the long flowing hair. It was, like, pin straight. She had the bangs.
And because Arai has shown up and has just started talking, like, frankly about how he had feelings for Haruhi and how she rejected him, but she didn't even realize she was being asked out.
Yeah.
We get two very different reactions. We get the two very different spectrums of reaction where Tamaki becomes a hamster and starts ripping up paper to sleep and eat on, I suppose.
Yeah, it's what you got to do when you're a hamster.
And Kaoru and Hikaru are, like, isolating over on the table, and Hikaru is like, I don't want to hear what this man has to say. He's taking my friend Haruhi away from me?
Yeah.
Haruhi's friend Hikaru?
We do have the funny divide that we generally see where Tamaki, Hikaru, and Kaoru are having a lot of things going on for them, whereas Mori, Kyoya, and Honey are just kind of like, oh, cool,
so
nice
tell
to
me
meet
about
you.
yourself.
Yeah. What was Haruhi like in middle school?
Oh, yeah.
Although for that one, Tamaki is he's interested. He's like, oh, I want to know. I want to know how Haruhi was like middle school.
Give me the secrets.
And then we pan over to our brooding boy Hikaru, and Kaoru kind of being like, I also kind of want, do you want to, I mean, like, I'm going to stay here with you because I'm your brother, but, like, don't you kind of want to, like, go over there? Like, I would go over there. I would go over there with you if you want to go over there.
And Hikaru keeps fucking piping up.
Yeah, he's angry.
And then Haruhi has to walk over there.
And give him a smack.
Big ass slap.
She's like, shut up. Because he's being kind of mean.
Yeah, and she's literally like, dude, you are disrespecting my friend right now. You need to stop.
Yeah. It's very like, I mean, I remember, upon first watching this, especially when I was in middle school, I was like, yeah, Hikaru, what the hell? But this time around, I kind of wrote down, oh no, the trauma is showing, because it is very much like Hikaru doesn't know how to deal with, like he hasn't he doesn't know what it's like to have like a cool childhood friend who you see again, or like, just old casual buddies. So he's like, this is weird. Someone who I finally have let into my life has somebody else, and I don't like that. Like, so...
Just unused to, like, that third degree of separation.
Yeah. And he's lashing out, and it's not good, but I think it's important that we do recognize that, like, he doesn't know what to do. He needs a little bit of a smack, but he also needs someone to be like, hey, this is normal, and, like...
He storms off, and Tamaki has this really good line that shows that he's, like, more aware than he seems to be, where he's like, is the world still so small?
I really like Tamaki this episode. He has a lot of moments that I really, really like. I'm a big fan of... I know I talk about Mori all the time, because how can I not? But I am a really big fan of Tamaki. I like his character a lot.
Arai does get his apology as he's leaving, though. We see Hikaru come back down and give a nice apology, and then...
Hey,
Haruhi.
I was out of line.
Yeah!
And he goes, and Arai is like a good guy who's like, hey, dude, no problem. I could see you were having something was going on with you, whatever.
Your drama is showing.
Yeah, I gotta go back to my job, though, because I am working right now. Bye.
And then Haruhi's like, hey, Kaoru? Why are you dressed as Hikaru?
They parent trapped us.
And then smash cut to, like, Hikaru naked playing Pokemon Diamond in the hotel room on his DS.
He's like, I don't want to go down there. I
I'm
want to
not
play
gonna
Pokemon.
apologize.
Pokemon.
Get him, Bidoof.
Catch a stupid Bidoof.
And then we get, like, this beautiful... The parent trapping continues because Kaoru is masterminding this episode.
Yeah, Kaoru has decided that he's taking on the role of Kyoya.
Yeah.
And he's making all the decisions today.
Yeah, he comes up with this plan where he's like, hey, Haruhi, you and me, tomorrow, date?
Yeah.
And then Haruhi like, yeah, okay.
It's very funny because we don't even really get, like, any response. It's just, like, date, and then it smash cuts to the next day.
Yeah, and it turns out Kaoru got sick, so he couldn't go on the date.
He got sick. Wink, 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 nudge, wink, wink, nudge.
And he's like, hey, brother mine, love you. Would you mind dating our friend for me in my stead? And Hikaru's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
It's so funny how romantically everything is framed, but how neither, like, he's like, yeah, okay, I'll just go hang out with her.
Yeah, if you need somebody to go with her, yeah.
It's whatever.
And he's still in, like, a sulky, shitty mood.
Yeah, he's still angry.
So the date is kind of awk, as they're like,
yeah.
Oh, do you want to go, like, clothes shopping? And she's
Haruhi,
like,
though, she is on her game. Like, she's making it happen, baby. Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna have a good time, hang out with my friend, and if you want to be angry, who cares? I'm gonna go get ice cream.
Yeah. It's great because we get the other host club members following them around, and we also get, like, these intercuts of Kaoru being like, listen, if you want to be a good friend, you gotta listen and tell people what your feelings are.
Yeah.
And then we watch him not do that.
Yeah, exactly. We watch him do the exact opposite.
The whole episode, Haruhi's like, I smell thunder. I looked at the forecast and it said rain and it smells like rain. And she's like,
remember that one time we went to the beach and we were all trying to find out my fear? And although I never explicitly said it, the game did kind of end after the big thunderstorm, and you guys found me and Tamaki like in a room, and he was like
doing
helping
BDSM
make sure that I
things.
can't. No, he was making sure that I can't like hear. I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there thunder coming? I hope not.
Yeah. Ugh. She's got like her thunder warning app on her iWatch that's just blaring.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I don't see what the problem is.
I will say I did just establish that I'm someone who sometimes thinks you need to spell things out for.
Yes.
So maybe I could kind of see being like, okay, that's weird. She just doesn't like, she's not going to want to get wet. Does she not like rain? Maybe she just doesn't like rain.
I don't like the cold.
Yeah. But I mean, like, all of this could have been avoided if he hadn't been angry and decided to run away when somebody nicely offered a ride home.
God.
He wasn't even being like, I'll come in. Like, he was just being like, oh, we've got a car that can take you home if you want.
You want to ride?
Yeah.
Like, that's all, baby.
It's free, baby. Like, why not just take it? I guess, I don't know, you're rich. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
And he's angry and jealous.
And he storms off again.
Again.
And then it starts to rain, and we see a call from, Tamaki tries to call...
Arai calls Misuzu,
Yes,
basically being like, hey, they stopped by right before the storm, but it seemed a little weird. Just wanted to make sure everybody got home. He's just, like a good person.
This is Arai calling with a vibe check.
Yeah, just checking in to make sure that these people, one of which is my friend, one of which may hate me, but he's her friend. I just want to know that they got home safe, because it's pretty bad out there.
I gotta get back to work, but... I love the idea of his whole thing is like, yeah, I'm a good dude and I make time for the things that I need to.
Yeah.
While I'm on the clock.
Yeah.
I gotta deliver these fruits.
Anyway. But yeah, so they haven't come back yet, and Arai doesn't know where they are. And so then Tamaki's like, buh. And he calls Hikaru and has an extremely great moment where he straight up just kind of like, hey, you need to get your act together. Why would you storm off, leaving her alone in the middle of a thunderstorm? She's scared of thunder, you idiot. Go find her.
She literally can't move when it starts thundering. And so he's like, ugh. And he has this come to Jesus moment. Yeah.
He was busy sitting under a tree during a thunderstorm blasting anime opening. Ooh. So I know that he had really important things to do, but now he's got to go figure it out.
Yeah, and I say come to Jesus moment literally because they go to church.
Yeah.
And there's like a realistic Mother Mary, like like more realistic than the show maybe needs.
Haruhi found a church to hide out in, and she's like, okay.
Yeah, and I love Hikaru's energy in this because he literally like takes the nice looking church tablecloth.
I know.
Like maybe that's been purified. Like maybe we shouldn't touch that.
Yeah,
but he just
whatever.
swaddles her in it and he hugs her and he puts the headphones on her.
Yeah.
And I love this scene because he puts the headphones on her and then he apologizes.
Yeah.
So like you don't quite know if Haruhi hears him. I think she doesn't. I think he's just putting it out there.
Putting it into the world.
But her timing is good because she does just go like, thank you. Thank you, Hikaru.
Yeah, maybe she could feel the vibration. She just didn't know like what he was saying. She's like, I think he's talking right now.
It was very sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Our nice little date episode. I did write Hikaru has entered the chat because it's like this episode kind of is like so Hikaru feeling?
He's sliding somewhere. Maybe into the DMs.
Maybe into the DMs.
On the phone that they gave her.
That's right, where she is in their top 5.
Yeah.
Might I add.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
We get another cool moment right at the very end between Kaoru and Kyoya.
Yeah.
Where they're just kind of being like, yeah, you're like the mature one and you want to see your brother like open up more. And like you understand that it can't just always be the two of you forever.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting seeing like the shading given to each of the twins. Because like this is probably the first episode where I've been halfway decent about like, oh, Hikaru does this and Kaoru does this. Because it's like we're starting to see that separation. Also because I can't just hear the difference in their voice.
It does help. When you got that differentiation, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is our famous date episode. Ooh. Ooh. So, one of the big things that they kind of hammer home this episode is this idea of listening. Like, when you care about someone, you'll listen to them. You listen to the things they say, you know, that kind of thing. And I know Hikaru kind of has a moment where, even though he hasn't been listening to Haruhi, he realizes that the whole time she has been listening to him.
Yeah.
Like, she just listens to him, and, like, she cares about her friends, and so she notices things and picks up on them.
She's like, do you want to go to get nice things for your brother? And he's like, how did you know? And it's like,
she's like, it's almost as if I pay attention.
Yeah.
Just a funny thought I had.
And then we get like a full minute's worth of footage of her being like, the rain is coming. I don't like the rain. Do you hear thunder? We should just leave now in the car where it's safe from the thunder that I don't like.
And I mean, honestly, you know, sometimes you're just a little dumb. Sometimes you just can't pick up on context clues.
Yeah. Honestly, that got me. It was because I've been so busy lately. I was like, oh no, have I been Hikaru and I just don't hear the things people say to me anymore?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, so I learned something today from this anime. You gotta keep your ears open and your eyes sharp.
Keep your eyes open and your ears sharp. Mm-hmm. And wow, it works both ways. It really doesn't change the meaning, huh?
Keep your eyes sharp and your ears sharp.
Keep your eyes open and your ears open. That one's not as fun.
Yeah.
Both of them are open.
Keep them sharp to protect.
Keep your eyes sharp and your ears carp. Just in case.
Yeah.
You never know.
Flopping around.
But yeah, so listening, big important. Mm-hmm. Also, I mean, like, we've kind of been hitting on this, but like, yeah, this is our like feelings. Feelings are happening, and we're kind of like talking about them a little bit.
It's so crazy because we're more than halfway through this series, aren't we?
I think so. I actually don't know. I don't know how many episodes.
Well, we're 16 episodes in, and it feels like a lot of... I don't know if I've mentioned this before on the show. I had a phase in middle school where I would just watch harem anime, like, all the time. Yeah. So that's where my understanding of anime came from. And it was always like, episode 1, meet the romantic interest that they're going to end up with at the end. Like, the main girl, the right choice. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all these boys have been presented, and they're like, there's the Tamaki thing, where it's like, oh, he's that. But, like, we're not having dates with him. We're having dates with the supposed side character who has the most screen time and shading developed to their backstory so far.
That's so interesting that harem, it's usually kind of, like, implied who it's going to be. I feel like a lot of reverse harem likes to try and kind of subvert. Really? Like, I feel like sometimes you kind of have a feeling for who it's going to be, but I can think of a lot of, like, reverse harem stories where the whole kind of fun of it is which boy is she gonna pick, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess Ouran itself is kind of special because we have spent a lot of time just establishing the characters, their histories, and their friendship with Haruhi, as opposed to having cheesy romance moments with her. A lot of our cheesy romance has kind of been more focused on, like, our side characters, which is interesting.
It's super great because I buy into it more.
Yeah.
That these people are just friends, and then it's like, oh, like, he came to help me in the church when it was raining from the situation that he left me in. Uh-huh. But, like... It feels like an actual, like, start of transition to being, like, romantic feelings. Like, like if Haru, he ends up with Hikaru, like, at the last episode, like, I would buy that.
Ooh,
like, that would be such an interesting fucking thing to be like, one of the two twin characters who were kind of, like, billed as, like, we're here to fill this weird specific trope.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like, one of them was just a nice human being who, like, welcomed this person into their life.
That's true. They're doing a good job of establishing, like, real believable feelings. Like, I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't feel out of place if Haruhi ended up with Hikaru, because they've well established that Hikaru has feelings for her and is kind of like a viable option, I guess.
Yeah, he's viable.
He doesn't feel like a character who's just there to push someone like Tamaki's, like, feelings further. Yeah. You know?
It's like going back to the harem anime thing, it's like a lot of those characters are just there to, like, look a certain way or to, like, fill that certain, like, niche interest that people have, like Kyoya being the Magane, the glasses person, but it's like, that's not a glasses person, that's Kyoya. He will mess you up. Like, we know so much about him and like him now.
There's a common thing in Korean dramas that's kind of known as, like, the second male lead, where it's like, this is a male character who you know is not going to end up with the female lead, and he's there to almost, like, A, show that she's desirable, B, show that, like, almost, like, push the other character's feelings, like,
If you don't do something, I will.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone in there's a whole thing called like second male lead syndrome where you want the second, you're like, no, screw the first guy, I want this one, and it never happens.
Yeah.
Ugh, it hurts. But yeah, so feelings time. Obviously this episode is centered a lot on Hikaru and how he feels, but there's I think developed moments for Tamaki as well.
Yes.
In this one, just because of how much Tamaki cares. And not even outside of like, because we kind of have, they like follow the date for a little bit and you have the little like, I want to be on a date with Haruhi.
Yeah.
But there's more developed things in kind of how he treats the situation with Hikaru. And like, you know, he found out that she was scared of thunder kind of by chance, but Tamaki is the kind of person who pays attention.
Yes.
And so we kind of see that like difference here where it's like if it were Tamaki, he would have been paying attention, and I think that kind of pushes Hikaru to be like, oh crap, I messed up, baby. I gotta fix this, I gotta go to church.
Take him to church.
Another really interesting character we have this episode is Kaoru.
Yeah, a lot of development for him as well. It really feels like the flower vase thing last episode was such a wake-up call for both of them, being like just knowing that like this small globe that they surrounded themselves with to cut them off from other people, like that's already in the process of falling. Yeah. So like the sooner you lean into that and the sooner you pull that band-aid, like the better it's gonna be. And so Kaoru kind of uses Haruhi as like this catalyst to be like, you are going to have to meet other people and respect them. Like he actually says in the episode, like, I need him to respect Haruhi and be like, we have to move beyond the kind of relationships that we have with people now into being vulnerable and like letting ourselves meet new people.
I want to know a little bit about your kind of like thoughts on Kaoru right now. How are at this point in the series, what's your kind of idea of Kaoru?
I'm pretty sure he's the bottom. That's I would say 87.5%.
Okay.
Pushes up glasses.
And then what else? Because obviously we can't stop there.
He's the more I don't want to say sensitive, but like he's the one who's more like me, and I've been called sensitive. So I'm giving him that label of like, this is the person who is quiet and notices things.
I too am a sensitive bitch.
Welcome back to the Sensitive Bitch Podcast. Please don't hurt our feelings.
What do you think about like Kaoru? What do you think he's thinking? How do you think he's feeling right now? What's his?
I hope that like because he's definitely well intentioned, but this was an elaborate setup to like kind of force something to happen. Yeah. So I hope that he got what he wanted. I hope that like this. Yeah. I hope that this opens up Hikaru more to like being receptive to Haruhi and just others. Because at the end we get like that moment where Arai gives the watermelon to Hikaru, and it's like nothing's really said that I remember, but there's that sense of like, yeah, bros. Yeah, bros. Like we're cool now.
We're cool.
Sorry for being a dick. Let me take your watermelon.
Also, I gotta get back to work.
Yeah. But it's that like.
Yeah.
I feel like I trust Kaoru because like he's talking to Kyoya and they're doing like their thing of like, yeah, we see the situation from a different view than the other people who are kind of living in it. Yeah. And we want the best for them and we'll do what we can to guide that. Which like, you know, I can appreciate that perspective, but I also can appreciate like you are a member of this group of friends and you participate in it, and it might not be 100% healthy to be like guiding things. Yeah. Feeling the obligation to be pushing people in a certain direction.
What do you think about maybe Kaoru's thoughts towards Haruhi? Like, how do you think he sees her?
It was interesting because, like, I feel like he's not super in that race. I feel like he's not, like, trying to get with Haruhi. I feel like he's a good friend with her and that he sees his brother's feelings for her and he's like, this is our way out of our isolation, kind of. Like, this is a first step. Because I never got the vibe from him that, like, yeah, I want to end up with Haruhi. Because he could have gone on this date himself, and he's like, no, it was more important to me to position my brother to, like, learn that people are fully formed and have their own feelings and maybe are better than just toys. Yeah.
All right. I have a lot of thoughts on Kaoru, but I think some of them are things that you might kind of see later on in the series. I don't want to accidentally spoil anything, but I just kind of wanted to know what you were seeing right now, since this is like new for you.
I'm seeing a soft boy trying his best.
Vibes you were picking up. All right, yeah, no, I agree with that diagnosis, absolutely. Soft boy trying his best.
We will cure him.
All right, okay, thank you. I'll just tasty thoughts. Okay.
Call that foreshadowing.
Call that foreshadowing. So tropes this episode, we've got there's a date.
Yeah.
And kind of everything that goes with that, because we have like the following the date.
Yeah.
And like the two people who are on a date, but like, is it a date? Like there's kind of a lot surrounding this little scenario.
Like, it's such a trope that even when they do the disguises, I was like, yes, I've seen this before.
Absolutely. And then we have our like middle school friend, childhood, someone who had a crush on the protagonist kind of reappearing.
Yes.
Really just to be a decent guy who wants to say hi to his friend and then get back to work.
Yeah, I was just working.
It could have been more than it was, but it wasn't, because he was genuinely just kind of like, yeah, I had feelings for you. I'm cool now.
It was a year ago.
It's really nice to see you again. Like, I'm glad you're doing well. It looks like you've got some cool friends. I was a little worried because, you're going to a different school, but I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah.
So he's just a good guy, a hardworking guy.
Great.
Who is good. And then we have the whole kind of over and underlying jealousy that is pushing this episode so much.
It's very, very interesting to see Haruhi escalate to the point of like slapping Hikaru.
Yeah.
Because he was just like
being a big jerk.
He was being a big jerk. He was being more of himself, though. Like, it didn't feel out of character for him to be this upset.
Okay, yeah.
It felt like he was just voicing thoughts that, like, were better left unsaid. Because, like, he's not... I don't think he's wrong. I think he has the most pessimistic view of that situation that he could, because he's being like, oh, it's so embarrassing, like, the way you obviously came here to have a crush on Haruhi.
The thoughts themselves don't feel out of place. It was the way that he was deliberately speaking them loudly so that the party could hear them, despite, like, it was that, like, oh my god, like, I'm so, he
was making an issue.
He was being a little bitchy.
That's it. Yeah.
He was being a little, not a sensitive bitch.
Little bitch.
Just a regular one.
Regular bitch.
Yeah. Regular bitch.
Medium-sized.
Little medium-sized bitch. Do we go to Starbucks, call that a grande bitch? Grande bitch, not a venti. Yeah. So now that we've got kind of like so much going on, Jaron, what do you think is gonna happen next time? Next time on Ouran High School Host Club.
I feel like we're gonna be out of Kaoru-zawa.
Okay. You said Kaoru, and I thought, and my mind immediately went to the boy, but then the word kept going, and I was
his
like...
actor didn't renew the contract in the mid-season.
Oh, no!
Yeah. I feel
So we're back home.
I feel like we're back at Ouran, and I feel like it's going to be an episode about... This is an abstract prediction, I'm sorry, but
that's fine. I mean, this is not a Kyoya episode, so...
I feel like the theme for the next episode is, like, things can't continue the way they were.
Oh, so, like, we try to get back to normal, but we can't... Okay, okay.
Like, Hikaru is literally going to be trying to, like, haha, like, fun, twinny thing.
Yeah.
But he's had that heightened awareness now.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be showing concern for Haruhi in a way that, like, makes it not the way it was.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to be doing a lot of their, like, twin talk teasing thing.
Yeah. And that's definitely a thing. I agree. It's a little abstract, but it's definitely, like, that's a thing. Like, we can't go back.
Like, you can't go home again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my prediction, is that we're going to try to resume business as usual, but Hikaru's going to realize, like, he doesn't want to say teasing things to Haruhi. He's like, oh, are you okay? Like, your feelings?
He wants to flirt.
Oh my god, flirting would be nice.
I
love some flirting, honestly.
I love platonic flirting, romantic flirting is just so good.
It's good.
Flirting is so
because
good.
it's just words.
It's just words. Well, flirting can also be like looks and little touches and like
somebody gives you a boba.
An excellent flirting tactic is literally just to kind of like smile at a person when they're the only one looking.
I like a wink.
You like a wink?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think that's cheesy?
No, I think I'm cheesy. So.
I literally actually just had a conversation with some students about how like winking is something that's seen in media, but not so much in real life.
Oh boy, I've learned everything I know about flirting for media.
Well, most people have.
I've had moments lately where it's like, standing across a theater from someone, and like somebody will be like, "Oh yeah, you gotta do this, and this," and you're just making eye contact with one person. You go a little. You gotta give the.
I can't think of it as just like it feel like I associate winks with like big wink wink.
Oh, wonka wonka.
Oh, wonka wonka.
You gotta do a little chin twist as well.
A little chin twist.
Okay.
A little.
If left eye winks, chin goes right. If right eye winks, chin goes left.
I guess I'm more like looks. Like, you know, just looks.
When people try to give me looks, it makes me uncomfortable and I have to be like, are you looking at me with romantic intent? Like, somebody recently was like, yeah, you know, if people want to kiss you, they look at your lips. And I'm like, I've never registered that. I was just like, why the fuck is this person looking at my chin?
I thought you learned everything from media. They literally talk about that.
Like,
it's the thing. Maybe you haven't watched enough like teen romance movies where they straight out are like, if you want a boy to kiss you, look at his lips, and then look up after 3 seconds. Because I think that does help. Because I don't think I would have known that if I hadn't watched like a teen coming of age movie where they literally talked about it.
When it comes to romance, like beyond flirting, I need things spelled out.
Same.
You can't be like, I was looking at your lips and you didn't kiss me, what the fuck? I literally have to be like, you have to like physically...
We're on the same page with this.
Headbutt my lips.
I literally just talked about how I didn't know I was on dates with people.
Yeah.
Which, is it really a date if you don't like know? Like, come on. Come on.
I have the thing of like, I know I'm in a romantic situation, but I have no idea what this other person is like asking for with their body language. Yeah.
Yeah, words are helpful.
Yeah. It's not enough to just be like, oh, can I kiss you? And somebody say yes. I have to be like, the person be like, please kiss me.
I think a smile is, I mean, like, not, like, it's not necessarily saying any, because there's a difference between things that are meant to, like, ask or do something specific and things that are just kind of meant to convey a general vibe.
No, that's the things that I like, is just, like, the vibey.
Well, that's what I was talking about, is that, like, you're at a table with a bunch of people and you lock eyes with someone and you're the only two people looking at each other and you just kind of, like, smile and kind of, like, look down. I love that.
Love that.
Pro tip
Give
from
it
Kara.
to people. Do you have the wave versus the flirty wave, where like if somebody looks at you from across the room and you're like, hey, but if somebody looks at you from across the room and you're like, you move the individual fingers.
Oh, the individual fingers.
Like,
I don't know. I like moving my fingers because
my flirtiest wave is I put both hands over my head and I just go.
I do like to wave with both hands. I prefer the 2-hand wave.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. I also just move my arms a lot, so it's hard to think of like one. Like I was probably already moving my arms.
I was bored of the gesticulation.
Anyway, if you guys want to flirt even more, you can come back and listen to episode 17.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe there will be flirting.
Maybe we'll talk about kissing.
Oh, my God. Kissing. Oh, my God. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will catch you in the next episode. See you then.
Catch ya.
Mwah. Bye-bye. Bye. Go flirt with someone.
I'm doing the flirty wave.
I'm smiling at the microphone and then I'm kind of like looking away.
I'm looking
and
at
then
the
I'm
microphone's
looking back
lips,
and I'm like doing a little
3 seconds.
silent laugh. And then I'm doing the thing where you just kind of like, and now I'm doing finger guns.
Finger guns is the highest form of flirting. That's a pro gamer move.
All right, we've let out too many secrets.
We gotta save something for the rest of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Whatever.
Yeah.
You look really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.